And we are back from our break with a new edition. Well, welcome back, Leva.
Hi. I've been studying a lot.
Well, not in the last 2 days, because you're with a party on the planet.
Oh, well, okay. But in between.
Yeah. All right. So it is time to get back to traveling through the Phlogiston.
Before we travel,
Yeah.
Lafdul's going to cast the greatest spell that annoys every GM ever. He casts Idea.
Okay. Let's see.
Did we forget anything? No.
Yeah. Looking for burrs.
Oh.
So the last couple of days, Lever's been doing some small scale material component collecting.
What?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a bad pun. Small scale?
Oh.
I think you should subtract experience points for that.
Well,
yeah, minus 1 billion experience points.
I mean, Daikami's been, or Ariara's been doing it in picking off Braxon level Panzer in chat.
So, the Phlogiston trip, you get back underway. Another week begins to pass. So let's go through and see what the party wants to do. Braxon.
Do I need to make a Phlogiston navigation check?
Yes, go ahead and do so.
Right. Hang on. I can hear shouting.
Yeah, I'm getting some shouting from...
Sounded like yellow teeth.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
That fixed it.
All right, thanks. All right, Braxon, that is going to shave a day off the overall trip.
Okay. Well, that kind of sort of cancels out us stopping at that planet, I suppose.
Yes. Yeah. All right. All right, so you consult with Glau and manage to get make some good time through the eddies surrounding that planet as you're leaving, which does shave off that day of travel. And get underway. Solas, what do you want to do for this week?
Solas would be preserving some of the plant samples and starting studies with the alchemical laboratory on the others.
Okay.
It's going to be a bit limited since I can't use fire, but he would start.
Yeah. Are you like drying the plants, like pressing them, something like that?
Yeah. That is what I do for the flowers and such.
Okay. Ockar, what do you want to be working on?
I'm just gonna keep doing the flying stuff.
Okay.
And maybe also making sure that the scales are stored somewhere secure so that I know where they are so when I'm ready to work on them.
Okay. What you'll probably actually need to do is spend the week cleaning them. Since you're limited in your available resources, it will take more time to clean them. So
then I'll focus on cleaning the scales.
Okay. Braxon, you had something you wanted to say?
Yeah. Some people wanted to do training, didn't they? So Braxon will make a bit of time for anyone that wants to do weapon training.
Okay. All right, and Finn?
Finn's gonna just do a little weapon training, and he'll help Ockar with his flying training, playing tag with him and stuff.
All right. Do you want to consult with Solas on his notes, like convert, like you have discussions about the plants that you guys discovered and stuff like that?
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, and Leva?
Isn't she researching? I think
Okay.
that new spell.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I just wanted to double check. And Lafdul?
Um, this is going to be interesting. So at some point, Lafdul will knock on Finn's door. So knock, knock. I assume Finn's in.
Come in. Just remember to stay away from the bitey plant.
Oh, there's bitey plants. Oh, I like those.
Oh, you should
Not
give
when they
that one a
bite me,
hug.
though.
You should give that one a hug.
Hey, so we're traveling through the flow, and we have quite a lot of downtime. Really, I mean, I've been spending a lot of time cutting gems and all that. But I seem to be done with the gems. I mean, there's a bit of sculpting for me to do. So Lafdul's tangenting, and then he gets onto the bit where he's like, he talks about his faith, and the Aravan is a member of the Sini court as well, and there are lots of pixies and nature-y things that Lafdul could probably explain better than I can. So, and as part of being a mischief maker, it behooves me to try to learn one of the pixie languages. And I heard that you know one of these languages, and I was wondering if you could teach me over time.
I suppose I could work on that.
And it would also be a language you can communicate with each other that no one else would know, I guess.
Yeah, I could teach you Pixie.
I would be indebted to you. Well, if there's something I can do for you, that's all. Like, you know my skill set, so.
We'll see.
Yeah, I will. That will be spending
You
most of my
two-
time learning a language. Yeah, would it
You-
help with Fire Braxon's ring? Would I know this?
No.
was
I
about
would.
to
It would be
say,
a
well-
further conversation. That was all.
I was about to say, you two keeping this secret.
The ring helps with learning someone's native language because
Right.
I think I'll go with that.
No, that's fine.
Okay, fair enough.
There was going to be another conversation with Braxon afterwards, otherwise. No, but if we already knew this, then obviously that wouldn't have happened.
Okay, well, I would have lent you the ring if it would have helped. You'll just have to get a pixie friend.
Yeah, well, you never know. It'll be there to be my permanent tormentor, probably. Punishment. Emphasis is on the pun bar. Yeah, no, I assume that will be taking up most of my time learning a language, so I'll be assisting or helping out with Solas for his plant collection, and I guess Finn could give me like translations of like conversations. I would learn and assist through that.
Well, I mean, part of the day certainly would just be spent. I mean, like you got to go over, basic syntax and stuff like that. So, do you have an available language slot?
Yeah, that was my when I gained intelligence. I got a language and a proficiency.
Okay, so it will probably take you about 2 months to gain that language.
And that's like half a day or like a full day or.
It's like half a day. I mean, you can do some other stuff, but as long as if the thing requires full concentration, like the full day, then
No, it would just be like long term.
yeah,
I
no.
would
I
be
mean,
carving.
if you needed to do, if something came up that you needed to spend a whole day working on, like if you were going to research spells, kind of thing,
No.
then well, I understand. I'm just using that as a rhetorical
No,
example.
that's fine.
Then you can still do other things in that time and stuff like that.
I'm going to carve. Well, the other half of the time that I have free. This is a long-term project because this is quite detailed. I'd be taking a pound of the. Well, this is obsidian's like £3. I'd be like taking like a a small part of it, I guess, maybe £1 worth of it, and I've got £2 of jade, and I'd be taking £1. Well, actually, no, 2 pieces of jade, £1 each. So 1 piece of jade, and I would have to cut like a section of obsidian off to make like a foundation with like a jade tree on it, and I'm gonna like glue them together. So this is like a really long-term project of like carving this, like months. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna dedicate my time to.
Okay.
And I'll have to somehow find a way of fixing the obsidian to the jade together.
All right. At one point during the week, Lafdul, as you're leaving your quarters, I need you to make a saving throw versus breath weapon, modified by dexterity, not modified by anything else.
Modified by dexterity. That's good.
Yep. All right. So at one point you're leaving your quarters. You open the door and are about to step out when you notice that the doorknob had a string attached to it going up above the door, and as you open it, it's pulled something down that's falling. You leap back and manage to avoid it.
Bucket.
It's more of like a small canister or container that's open, and it falls down and spills some sort of powder everywhere on the floor right in front of your quarters. Some of it is now into your quarters too because the door was open.
I say quite loud, not shouting. I say, "You missed, whoever that was." After, I guess, what is this substance?
You're not sure. You're gonna have to investigate it, and you may need
I'm not
to.
touching it, but I'm looking closer at it.
All right.
Flower or something?
Some of it is in the air, and your nose gets really itchy, like you're just constantly rubbing it. It's just like, oh, jeez, it's really itchy.
I back away and I just get like a cloth in front of my face. Try to dampen my face a bit with a wet cloth or something.
All right. You might want to like clean that up, otherwise, anyone who walks by is going to be kicking up some dust and stuff like that. So.
Oh, that's their problem.
Well, it's all. I mean, like it's right. So, you are also going to be kicking up that every time you go in and out of your room until it gets cleaned up.
Oh, it's a shame I don't have access to summoning here, and that'll be a dust devil job. Yeah.
I mean, it's also a job for a wet washcloth.
Yeah. Well, conveniently enough, I cut myself off then. Yeah, I guess I'll clean it up.
Okay. Yeah, so you're pretty sure it was itching powder, given what it did to your nose, and as you clean it up, some of it gets on you, and just very mild.
It's itching a little.
Yeah.
So a plant-based itching powder, not an alchemical thing.
I
know the difference.
I don't think you'd know the difference without doing some testing on it.
Am I being a mischief maker? I'm familiar with pranking things. Would I know what kind of things to look out for when I'm buying itching powder? Because I assume at some point I would have tried some classic prank like that on someone.
Generally, it's just itching powder, and it's not like unless you go to a specific type of store. Like
oh
you
no!
go
Would
to
I
an
go to a herbalist or?
Well, I mean, you can get it from multiple places.
Oh.
And certainly, like this is a pretty common thing, of the minor things that are available in a thieves guild, because it's a great distraction for guards and stuff like that. So most of the places that you would go doesn't specify what it is, and you can get it from both like alchemists and herbalists and stuff like that. You're not sure what this is.
I mean, it's a really good way to escape from a guard, basically throw itching powder on their face and run away.
Yeah, I didn't have it listed in the thieves thing. I'd like dog stink and cat stink or dog.
Yeah,
bite
well,
or
it's not necessarily one of those things. So, I mean, it's just a common
I've
thing.
had that for like ages. Probably gone bad by now.
I don't know.
I got aniseed files as well.
I'm not too concerned about those things going bad, really. I mean,
Oh, actually, as a point of reference, I would have replaced the poison in the dagger with the giant spider venom with what I got out of the giants, because it preserves it if it's in the adamantine dagger. So I would have just placed it in there.
Okay.
I had scorpion venom in before, but now I got this giant spider venom.
Okay.
I think this is a bit more potent.
Yeah, well, not that I've ever used a dagger that much, but it's always an option for me, I guess.
I mean, it's good to have options.
Okay. Was there anything anyone else would want to do during that week?
Well, if there's any spare time, Lever would go and hit people with. Sorry, would train staff training.
There is. You can get some of that in.
Okay.
We have excellent staff training record.
Okay. But that week passes uneventfully. And you move on to the next week.
So what's this, week 9?
That was just week 10 that ended.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. Plus 1 day.
I lost track. How long does Lever have to actually research this spell?
Since we haven't come up with the specific details and you were doing some other stuff,
Okay.
I think it's just you're going to be researching until
All right.
big things start happening, and then I'm going to say that's fine. We'll figure out afterwards
Okay.
the details.
All right.
All right, so that week comes to a close, and a move to the next week. This next week will be week 11, and let's go back to Braxon. Anything in particular that you want to work on?
No, week 12 it'll be another inspection of the ship.
Okay.
No, I suppose they go around and check on all the crew and make sure morale's okay.
Yeah, morale is pretty high right now. Obviously, everyone is anxious to finish this trip through the Phlogiston.
Yeah.
But having been to that rogue planet, they're still talking about it. They're still enjoying the fresh food, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Okay, Solas, what do you want to work on this week?
Solas would continue his plant experiments and also discuss with Finn if he already started with the experiments on the soil, growing the normal plants on the soil from that planet.
Not yet. I got to make some cuttings first.
Okay.
Would I?
Hello.
Yep. Sorry, Finn.
Speaking of, I will work on that this week.
Okay. Ockar, is there anything that you want to work on?
I mean, amble flight. Yeah, I mean, the aerial flying thing that I was working on with Bamel. I had a thought about doing that fighting competition thing again that we had the crew do. Because I think it's been a year since the last one.
A year, like a year ticked over, but I don't think it's been a year.
Okay. But I guess another one of those just to keep crew morale up.
Well, morale's pretty good right now.
Okay. Then never mind. I'll just keep working on my flying thing.
Okay. And you did finish up, so you can make a note that all of the scales are ready to be turned into armor.
Yep.
When you want to.
A quick note: the reason why Solas asked about the soil experiments for Finn was that he is also interested in the results of those experiments.
All right, so Finn, you'll be getting started on that, or do you want to do something else?
Yeah, I'll get started on that.
Okay. Anything else in particular that you want to work on?
Nothing in particular. Just keep working with Lafdul on his language and Ockar with his flying.
Okay. Leva.
Yes, she's still doing the same as last week.
Okay. Spell research and staff training.
Yes.
Okay. And Lafdul, how about you?
Continuing combining those sculptings and learning language.
Okay. So probably I'll need to have you make let's see. All right. So you wanted to make basically like a small sculpture of a tree out of jade, and the ground that it's resting in is made out of obsidian. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's darkest. There's tourmaline, but I don't know if that's more. I don't know what the best material is. I've got alabaster, which I think is white.
Yeah.
Onyx is also black. I don't know what would be more appropriate.
Onyx is striped,
Oh.
black and white.
All right, yeah, then obsidian and jade.
Okay.
I guess.
One thing Sardonyx is great for are cameos where like the background is made with the black layer and the white forms the actual portrait kind of thing, or whatever image you're making.
Yeah.
All right.
I will also make a point of. I would also ask the two alchemists in our group. Do you know of any bonding agent that can fixture two stones together? Two different types of stone. I say jade and obsidian. Well, one's a glass, one's stone.
Well, I think we might be able to create something, but for it to be really effective, it would also be a good idea to basically make it so that you can also join the two stones physically, like similar that carpenters do with you know how the carpenters.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
No,
Similar kind of thing, but and then add the basically stone glue that we would do.
No, I wouldn't keep it a secret what I'm doing, so I'd obviously reference as I'm carving it. I get as I'm learning languages with Finn, he can give me pointers on what tree shape more, because he's a druid. He knows the tree better than me. That might be an elf. Bit like trees in his blood, you could say.
And Leva, you were rolling to see if you knew of something.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you'll need to be back in. You need to go to a port to get some materials, and you'll need to be in wild space at least to be able to formulate it.
Okay. So she tells that to Lafdul.
Oh, cool.
And
yeah, Solas would also recommend basically talking with the carpenters to design a way how to. You might be able to physically join the two stones together with the glue added.
If only we had a carpenter. So at some point, we'll go to Braxon. I assume he's going to be overly enthusiastic about fixtures and joints and stuff. No, I would ask him if he would teach me some common joints, and I'll see if I can incorporate something if he's willing to teach me something.
You want to learn how to do woodwork? Okay. Well, I still need to learn how to do non-ships carpentry woodwork. So, but I can.
Not necessarily.
It would probably be a bit more sensible to do carpentry stuff out the phlogiston, though, because we can cut up wood, but there's always a slight chance there might be a spark. I've been holding off sharpening up all the tools.
I just realised I was muted. This is more on the theory of what I'm trying to do is not learning carpentry. I'm trying to what Solas suggested to me is that because I'm trying to join two different stone objects together, and
Yeah.
obviously he said about the glue, and also carpenters obviously make clever designs with their joining. So I was obviously trying to see if I can adapt any of them to what I'm doing. So I had examples of what works.
I guess Braxon could do some things like pull drawers out from a chest of drawers and show you all the joints on those things without actually doing anything, and say, we can, like, I'm going to start tidying up the wood when we get out to Flodgeston, so we can actually make some joints to try what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I do show and tell as I work on this throughout the coming weeks, and the whole party can.
What size stuff you working on?
It's just it's I guess it's like a headbust sized object.
Okay.
It's like a pound weight on each piece. It's just like an obsidian like floor, where, and it has like a jade tree. They're just going to be two pieces affixed to each other. It's just like a pretty
Sounds
thing
kind
that
of
we
artistic.
can sell, or unless one of the party members wants to buy it, I guess.
I would guess that if we get some wood, you could try making a bit out of wood first, as a dry run.
I mean, there's so many skills in our party. We're all quite a diverse bunch.
Yeah.
I mean, Solas is an engineer as well.
Do we have any of the bark on that wood, or would we have chopped all that off?
You probably would have taken it off because it's not really wasn't very useful or usable for you.
Okay. All right. No, I didn't know whether any of that would have been interesting for this thing that Lafdul's trying to make. But yeah, if we got rid of it, then we got rid of it.
I mean, you don't have the bark, but you got the wood.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That's cool.
And
I mean, there's plenty of spare wood.
Yeah, there's always little bits of cutoffs that you haven't gotten rid of. I mean, there's always like constant maintenance that you need to do on the ship.
Yeah.
And you can always try to dismantle some more simple pieces of furniture and such that you can easily put together back.
Yep.
I just thought one idea that could also help Lafdul that Solas would also mention, but this could only happen once we are back to the wild space. Stone shape could be used basically to make suitable peg for the joint.
Actually, could you affect obsidian there? Because that's more of a glass than stone.
It still counts as stone.
You could probably merge the two or something.
But yeah, it's one option also. But for that we need to get back to wild space since it's a 3rd level spell.
Yeah, this is going to take me a long while anyway. So.
Well, more intricate and intricate pieces of art made out of hard materials like jade and obsidian are going to take a while.
So, given the how you're like how you want to do this, what is the time frame that you're looking at finishing this in, Lafdul?
Yeah, however long it takes. I'm trying to make it like a work of art. Something that'll take months.
Okay. All right. So
probably like 3 to 6 months, somewhere in there. This is like a long.
All right. Give me 1d4
project.
plus 2 then.
All right.
We'll see how long it's going to take.
D4 plus 2. All right, 4 months.
All right, so make a note of that. That it'll take 4 months to complete.
Does this have 1 week cut off of it so far, though?
Yeah, that's fine.
Right.
So what I will have you do is I will have you roll a proficiency check for the base. That's unmodified because the base is less complex. A check for the tree that is going to have a -2 on it because that is complex. And then a third check unmodified to merge them together successfully. And if you come up with other ways to do it more easily, then I'll give you a bonus to that. And unless you get a 20, it's not going to be a ruin. It's not going to be like, oh, I broke it, or something like that. So,
I mean, there is more jade I can work with, but
yeah, I'm just saying that we'll figure something out if it's a failure.
Well, if it's bad, depending on how badly it's ruined, Solas can also fix the ruining with mending.
I mean, it's a silly question. I mean, you got stone sheet. You can, if something breaks off, you can essentially fix it roughly back together and just recarve around it, or is it permanently ruined?
Well, we'll cover that. We'll get to that if it happens. How's that?
Also, like I said, if you, for example, accidentally chip something off Solas's mending, that should be able to fix it.
Not necessarily. Again, we'll cross that bridge if we come to it. How's that? Okay. Let's see. All right. So, about midweek, one of the crew on watch shouts out. Let me see what the did I write down?
Right.
I did not write down what shift it was. So hold on a second.
Okay. Roll a d2.
Oh no, I do. It's D2, or actually a D6, but and a D12 to figure out what hour it's on, just in case, because that can matter.
Right. So is Ockar dealing with this, or?
All right. Third hour of second shift. So Nemariel, Leva, Braxon, Lafdul, you guys are on duty.
All right.
A crew member calls out, Captain, there's a ship drifting up ahead. You've dropped out of spelljamming speed, and
Braxon will check with his spyglass.
okay. You see a tradesman. It is definitely drifting. The rigging is slack.
Yeah.
And go ahead and give me a carpentry check.
Okie dokie.
I suppose I would have been called up at some point to come on deck.
Well, this is all right now. This is like within a moment.
Yeah, whenever I'm on deck, you can say.
Hang on, sorry, I'm stuck on the wrong tab. Come here. Carpentry.
All right, there's something that's unusual about it, but you're not sure. You can't quite put your finger on what that is.
Okay. Braxon's going to tell the others. Let's get the crew. He'll send a message just to say we've ship ahoy.
That's usually like, is that an alert? Like, be ready for combat at a moment's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
It's not like a battle alert, but it is an alert. It's like a standby alert. Be ready.
Yeah.
Right, no, Lafdul will
he's gonna
definitely
say,
not be doing stone carving.
Who's on the helm?
Nemariel.
He's gonna ask Nemariel to take a circuit around it, so we can have a look at it from other directions. And who else is up there?
Doing a circuit around it would take a considerable amount of time. Like, I mean, unless you close in really close and then do the circuit. I mean,
Yeah, we can close in fairly close and do the circuit.
Did you wake up, send
Yeah,
people to
we
wake up the rest of the...
Yeah, you send people to wake people up, say ship ahoy.
I'm just
And,
wondering if it's an undead ship.
Braxon is not seeing any movement on it at the moment.
Wow.
Yeah,
Undead are notorious for not needing to move.
yeah, we'll
true.
wake up the rest of the crew just in case there's a fight.
And I'd rather go into a fight knowing that we're potentially fighting undead rather than I'd happily lose a day just waiting.
Basically, people are going to be told, ship ahoy, no movement on the ship, but all crew to the decks in case there's a fight.
All right, so you're going to be slowly advancing towards it?
Yeah, because we've got no massive need to do it quickly, so we'll give time for people to get on the deck and get their clothes on and stuff.
All right, give me a Phlogiston navigation check.
Okay. Oh.
Okay. So one thing, as people are preparing and every crew is being woken up and the other PCs are being woken up, you're still observing it, and you consult with Glau, and you both come to the agreement that the ship is drifting. Now, that doesn't mean that it could still be an ambush if it's drifting.
Yeah.
So, FYI. But the way that it's drifting, it's currently being pulled along by the river, but also the direction of drift is across the river.
Oh, right. So it's drifted into the river from one side.
Yeah, and eventually, the eventual is probably a matter of days.
Yeah.
It will drift out again.
Yeah.
While it is being carried along by the river.
What was it again?
It's a tradesman.
Tradesman.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if we can tow a tradesman.
No,
might be in a
you can't.
Might be in a bad condition.
Wait, no, you're 70, so yes, you can.
Yeah. Yeah, so we might be able to get salvage from this, assuming it's not in a terrible state.
It seemed on how the last ship was.
Okay, so is everyone on deck yet?
All the PCs who want to be up on deck can be on deck.
Okay.
Yeah, Solas would be.
Right,
Ockar's up
so
there.
Braxon's going to hand around a spyglass to anyone who wants to have a look. He's going to say that me and Glau have worked out this is drifting across the Phlogiston River, so looks like nothing's happening. Could still be an ambush. There could still be dangerous creatures on there. I suggest we go in. Given what happened last time, I suggest we just take the whole ship in, rather than worry about losing all our air.
Yeah, we got the Hueti that can just instantly refresh it. It might be foggy though.
Yeah. Well, if we need to refresh the air, we'll make sure nobody's going to come out in the mist and attack us first.
So we just merge it, then back away.
We'll just go up to it and haul up to it
with your full ship.
Yeah, with the full ship. Because of what happened last time with the air, there's no point.
We could do it by using the shuttle and taking a Horvati crew.
We tried doing that before, and everyone nearly died from suffocating.
It was Flitter that we used. I mean the hilt.
I do prefer the big ship, honestly, though, because we overcompensate for the difference from our size.
Yeah, I mean it is about like a third your ship size, so even if its air is deadly, that's not going to take your air to deadly. It just can't.
Yeah. Might not even take it to foul. Right. Okay. Let's take us in.
Okay. And your Horvati are prepared to use their fog cloud, or are you gonna
What we'll do is we won't do that immediately.
Okay.
Because if they do the fog cloud and there's monsters on it, we'll be fighting the monsters in fog. So once we've cleared the ship, if the air's foul and we clear the ship and there's no threats, then we can do that. Unless like the air really got deadly for reasons I don't understand. Like I don't know, it's like it got extra deadly air being made or something.
Okay. All right, so you bring your ship in. As you're closing, still seeing no movement on deck, and you are seeing no.
We're getting your mirror to match the drift.
All right. And the ship itself is not making any moves either.
Yeah.
And
when we get closer, can Braxon see if it looks massively damaged or anything?
yes. There's
So
a
I'll do
little
another
bit
roll.
of damage. Give me another carpentry check.
Okay.
Okay. And I'll actually give you some other information as well. So first of all, you would estimate that it's at 22 out of 25 hull points. So not very much damage.
Yeah.
Very difficult to determine whether the damage it's taken has been from weapon fire or just like drifting objects or something like that. The ship seems to be in decent condition at least. However,
visible?
now that you're closer, like you've never seen its color scheme before, which doesn't necessarily mean anything. But the construction is definitely archaic. Like you're looking at it and you're like, they stopped building like that. Like the way that the mast is connected, they stopped doing that. Like 100 years ago, kind of thing.
Right. Okay. Can we see a name on it or anything?
Not one that you can read.
Okay. Braxton's going to call out to them.
All right. Well, you haven't breached the.
We haven't breached the air envelope.
That's as you were closing.
Certainly, be deadly off air.
Yeah, when you do breach the air envelope, it is definitely deadly air. That is going to subtract 6,000 man days of air from your current air envelope.
Okay.
What does that take you to?
I'm not sure exactly. Hang on. We got.
Is the categories done in percentages?
We were. Hang on. We refreshed the air totally on day 56. And what are we on now?
74.
Day 74.
So it's been 18 days since you. Actually, it's even less than that. I don't think that's going to foul your air because all of your ships also entered the air envelope of the planet, the rogue planet.
Yeah,
that would have
that's
refreshed
true
you as well.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think of that. So we're down how much man days we're?
So that would have been let's see. Give me a second. That was on day 63 that you got to the planet. And it's 74, so you were down 11 days.
$63 when we.
Yeah, it's been 11 days since you left that planet.
Day 63. Air refreshed.
Probably make a habit of routinely just refreshing it every week, even though we don't need to, in case we lose all of our heredity all of a sudden.
Yeah, I'll probably do that. Yeah, it's a good idea. So how much air did we just lose with the
6,000.
6,000. All right. I don't have the exact total, but I'll work it out after the game.
Well, what is the total air that your ship normally has?
Hang on.
Like its max.
hang on. Uh, 8,400.
Yeah, your air would still be fresh with that.
Yeah.
That doesn't even foul your air. And that is actually going to completely refresh their air envelope as well, bringing that up to fresh. And with that, you do start to see some movement as some objects that were kind of on deck, but in like not just like laying in the middle of the deck, but
Yeah.
in the corners
So-
and everything like that. Turn out to be people reviving from having been
Yeah.
petrified in the phlogiston.
Oh,
So Braxon will put on his ring that allows him to talk to people, and obviously he's got to work out who they are before he can try and read their minds. But he'll call out, "Ahoy, the ship! This is the Company of the Broken Swords."
it's not going to mean anything to them.
know.
One of them calls back, and I need you to make a modern languages proficiency check.
Modern languages proficiency check.
Because it's common, but it's you're dealing with like
Ye oldie speak.
Accent, dialect type things.
Right.
It's not 130. But if it's 13, the 7 is still a success. At some point, you need to figure out why that's 130.
Oh yeah,
So
that's weird.
That's not
that's
correct.
the sheet doing that.
Uh,
That's the sheet
It's
doing
based
it.
off your intelligence.
there's
so
something
it
in
should
there.
be a
We'll figure it
14,
out after the
isn't
game.
it?
Yeah.
So it takes you a moment to figure out what they call back, but then you're like, oh, okay, like you figured out that the changes in the sounds,
Yeah.
and they call back like greeting you back and getting kind of like just asking what's going on.
Well, we found you drifting in the phlogiston, so it looks like something's disabled your ship. Your air was foul. We've refreshed your air because we've got lots of air. Is your helmsman dead? Do you mind if we come aboard?
One of them calls back. I'm Captain Tevris of the Starlight. You speak quite strangely. Where are you from?
We're from Brawl.
Yeah, we're from Brow Space.
I'm unfamiliar with that crystal sphere. Please, may I come aboard and get a quick understanding of the situation?
Yeah.
You may.
All right, so you pull up alongside, and you can tell now that like their ship definitely is in need of good scrubbing. It's quite dirty, and you can hear them issuing some orders to the crew to like check over the ship, find out what's been going on.
Braxon will.
You've got like no food probably.
Sorry, what was his name again?
Tevris,
and
his ship name is the Starlight.
Starlight.
It seems that you have been drifting for quite a long time.
Yeah, and they will not be able to figure that out because any kind of calendar that they give you that you use, is, like it's like,
Braxon will tell them there's a minor amount of damage on their ship, but the way that their ship is made seems to be old-fashioned from what he's been taught in ship's carpentry. So they might have been in the phlogiston for a while.
Yeah, Tevris will respond to that and say, that must be the case. This is a relatively new ship. It was made just 7 years ago. The finest shipwrights in the Solas Empire. Which
Has
is
any of us heard of
not
that?
something that you've ever heard of.
Solaris Empire.
Solaris.
Does
Well, we've not
Lemurius
heard of
hear
the
that?
we've not heard
Is
of the
that-
Solaris Empire, but we're Braxon's going to point the direction of the Flodgen River. We're heading along the Flodgen River this way, and you're welcome to come along with us. Is your helmsman dead? I'm not sure exactly why you were drifting.
No, our helmsman is fine, but we were drifting because something. We may have had some Afisu infestation or something like that. We discovered during our trip we were supposed to be going to Akari space with our cargo, but our air was depleted much faster than expected. And we were stuck out in the phlogiston as it became worse and worse. It must have run out before we could do anything about it.
Huh.
Let's check the underside of your ship, see if there's anything dodgy there.
What was the name of
he-
the eel ship we found?
He's got some crew going and checking that already. I don't
I
think you
think
were
we should-
able to determine the name of that eel ship.
Can we describe it to him?
Sure, but it wasn't crewed by humans. These guys are
I think we
humans.
should. I think we
Yeah.
should compare our charts to see if you recognize any of the places we've been.
Yeah, he would have been about to suggest that as well.
We'll start naming out random spheres like arcane and stuff.
Oh, we're gonna bring out.
Well,
I'm going to have the crew bring out our charts so that they can look at them.
All right, he calls one of his crew
Well-
to go do the same.
Yeah, we
Um,
can just describe the last sphere we were in.
And you guys will quickly come to the conclusion that not a single sphere that you know of is known to them, and not a single sphere that they know of is known to you.
Hey,
Um,
that's good.
I would suggest you accompany us. We can get you to the next world. We're lost and we're trying to head home, and we're going down this river. We've been going for what is it? We've been going for 74 days, so we can get you to the next world, and you can see whether there's anyone there that can help you get home.
You didn't pass a planetoid about a week ago, did you?
No,
They might know that as a reference point.
Oh, remember they had drifted into this
Oh,
into
right,
this
yeah.
river. They weren't already on the
Yeah.
river.
Yeah.
Alright.
Do you happen to know, as a term, do you know of the Elven Navy as a thing that we might both know of?
Yeah, that's actually
no,
quite
I've never
reputable.
encountered such an organization before.
Cool.
I know
That's
you
awesome.
said they got people
Yeah.
checking their ship, but would we be able to? I mean, I think it's considered a bit rude, but if we have his permission, would we be able to just flip over upside down in case there's a load of scavers or other creatures hiding on the bottom of the hull?
I mean, well, you would have seen something big under there coming,
okay.
closing in.
All right.
Keep in mind that your ship has like the mess
Okay,
hall is
Braxon.
on the reverse gravity side of your ship and everything like that, and that has
Yeah.
big windows.
Oh, okay. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay.
This-
Braxon's going to call up Finn and say, from what they're saying, there might be a creature on board that uses up air quickly. Do you know of anything that might match that?
Would there be anything I'd heard of it? Old?
Not specifically that you would know beyond what others know. There is a creature called a Fisu. It's typically found in wild space that can essentially steal air. It's like a giant moth.
Right.
You're not at war with anyone, are you?
Not that I know of. Solar
so you don't have a
Empire is quite
saboteur.
peaceful.
I'm wondering if there's an invisible creature on your ship that was using up your air.
If there is, either it petrified the same as us, or it escaped. I mean, I would think.
Yeah. Well, it might revive if you've all revived. If it went dormant, it might revive as well. I mean, it hasn't eaten you all, so we know.
Well, it wouldn't have been able to eat them as stone anyway.
How is
so.
our air?
Your air is
Now
still
that we-
fresh, but it has been severely depleted.
We'll top it up in a bit.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was wondering if it's actively depleting. That's what my question was.
There's no way for you to check. That basically the only way that you would actually know that kind of thing is if it's like you're expecting to get to fouled air on day 100, and you actually hit it at day 90 or 50 or something like that.
Yeah.
That's basically the only way that you can tell.
Well, Leva offers to cast detect invisibility, but not today. Tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah. If you could
I've
do
And
that,
go around seeing whether there's anything there.
Well,
that would be useful.
His first mate comes up to talk to him, and they go off to consult. Basically, you can tell that his first mate is coming to give him a report based on the crew that he sent off to check the ship over. He comes back and gives you a quick rundown on their situation. Number one, they are missing 2 crew members. They never showed any signs of like being suspicious in any way. It's entirely possible that once they were petrified, they fell overboard, kind of thing. But one of them might have also been something that it wasn't. So they're missing 2 crew members. That's like, but
did they have anything like a ship's launch that's missing?
No.
What about their food supplies?
The food supply is their biggest problem. Their water is fine. Their food is virtually all rotted.
Nothing Purifier could do.
No. It's
disintegrated.
it's all gone now. Like,
How many crew have they got?
That puts them down at 23. They had a full complement setting off.
23.
I'm going to excuse myself and cast Mind Read and then come back.
All right. Well, hold on. So he's going to very apologetically ask you if you can help them with food because they have none and they will starve.
Yeah, we can help you with food.
And
they also have basically verified that the damage that their ship has sustained has just been like wear and tear, age related, hitting things,
right,
traveling through space and stuff like that. Based on the position of the petrified crew members, it is definitely possible that one or both of those missing crew members fell overboard in the however long it's been.
So would they be positive towards a detect invisibility the next day?
They would be willing to have you do that. They've got nothing to hide, the captain says, and if you want to check around for something like that, they'd be most appreciative of that.
No, we don't think we've got anything to hide.
So Solas says that considering your situation, especially with the food and water, it would be best if we basically take your ship into and start towing it, and you come with us, and we can then share our resources with you until we get to a planet.
They don't feel that you need to tow them, but the captain does say that he was. I was about to ask if you would mind if we accompanied you to the whatever sphere you end up in. Maybe we can find a way home, or worst case scenario, set up a new life there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. probably a good idea. You
Well,
can
the
come. I think it's fine for you to come with us. We don't need to tell them if they think that they can fly it. We just need to share our resources.
Yeah.
The towing was since aren't we going into spelljamming speed in the phlogiston?
Yeah, but you just basically need to be a distance apart. I mean, you're going through along a river, so.
Yeah. Well, if they try and go along the river and we're trying to go along the river, unless their navigator's seriously screwed up, they would just, if we stop, they would bump into the back of us and stop as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Lafdul, your mind read is not revealing any like other information than what they're saying. Like you're not picking up
it's
any
just
duplicity
verifying.
or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The captain does say that like he will need most of his cargo for to be able to turn it into coin for wherever they end up going, and as a means to try to get home. But he will set aside some as a payment for as best they can when you get to the crystal sphere.
What was their
Okay.
cargo?
They have a number of high value goods. A lot of expensive glassware. They
Perishable.
did have a cargo of spices, and most of that has rotted. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
like that was a lot of their cargo.
100-year-old cinnamon. Extra spicy.
I hear that Old Spice is the mark of a man.
Oh God.
Well then, I guess we should get going then.
Well, they'll
Yeah.
need some. They'll need a little bit of time
Time.
to set up. They do have two
Let's
helmsmen, and they're fine. They're not injured or anything like that, so they can.
so let's
pilot their ship.
let's make them some food in our kitchen for now, and
Yeah.
then we'll get some of the new food sent over to them.
They'll definitely need some food ASAP.
How
Yeah.
combat capable are they?
Well, if we
Oh yeah, old.
Hold on, I'm getting multiple questions. Braxon first.
have our spellcasters got the ability to make food? People keep telling me stuff like that.
Yes.
I do an emergency, and I can refresh it for as long as my icon has power, and it is currently at less than half.
So, but basically, can you top up food without going above second level spells?
No,
No.
that's a third level spell for
It's a
me
third
anyway.
level spell. Okay, so that means you can't gain that spell in the phlogiston if you don't
I
have it.
can, but I use up my finite
right.
resources stored in
Yeah.
my icon, so it's an
Okay.
emergency.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Right. Thanks. I'm done.
All right. Solas, you had something you wanted to ask?
Yeah. I need to remember what was the exact thing I was going to ask. What was it? Skip it. Skip me for now. I will try to remember it again.
All right. Who else had a question?
Mine was just how combat capable are they?
They will definitely need to do some repairs, but they do have a medium ballista and a medium catapult.
So it seems like
Sorry, light
standard
catapult.
affair.
It's not
More
necessarily.
heavily
It's not like unusual for. It's well within the what you'd expect something like a tradesman to have.
And they have their own wood, do they? Their own wood and supplies.
Yeah, they can repair their ship themselves.
I suppose the
now-
wood petrify is fine.
Now I remember what I was going to ask.
Mhm.
The carp figurine, it has the power to create fresh water. And I did say last time, last session, that Solas was going to be testing it.
Right, that's true.
So how much does it create, and how often can you use the power?
So let me double check.
Oh, is their water done?
Their
in as
water's
well?
fine.
Yeah, water, if it's sealed, it'll keep.
Yeah.
Wow. Even sealed, it'd still go bad after decades.
Well, they do also have a priest helmsman who can cast purify water. So.
Or create water, most likely.
Let's see. So it can pour out 1 gallon per round.
Good for firefighting.
And how many
Well,
rounds?
it doesn't spray out the water around. It pours it out.
Yeah, it pours it out.
Still okay.
I did try to test how long it can use, since I don't think the identifications gave any number of charges for it.
Do you have the ability to store all that water, or would you have just like been doing it over the edge of the ship and letting it go off into the phlogiston?
I would basically top off our water supplies.
Okay.
Would have topped our water supplies with it.
It would operate for up to 1 hour.
So 60 gallons.
Well, that's a lot of water. I haven't solved our water problems.
Mm.
And it's 1 hour per day that it can operate.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. That's a good,
Yeah, we
good
can survive off of
info to know.
salt pork and water. Lovely.
I mean, that will keep you alive for some time.
Oh, yeah, sure. At least you got plenty of water to wash most of the salt off.
And also the first power allows it to purify water. So if we have at one point, Solas would ask basically, at one point would try to test it, basically asking a barrel of water or a few, depending on how quickly and how much this purifies at once. At some point that he would foul some way.
You just memorize putrefy water.
Those of you that can do mending,
Mm-hmm.
can you essentially get that? Is that like arcane or
Something those Solas can do. The mending.
Mending is a wizard spell.
right? So, do you want to offer your services to them, or is it something we've got limited supplies?
At this point, mending wouldn't work.
Yeah,
Okay,
mending doesn't really fix things that is because of its aging.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
It only fixes like if something is broken due to damage.
That's just wear and tear from old age. That's
Yep.
replacements.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so
Unless you can reverse age, the only one that has access to time magic is Finn, but that's high level for him to memorize in the flow.
I think like you normally carry your water in large tons.
Yeah.
Which are very large barrels, and it'd be able to carry about 256 gallons, I believe. Each one of those.
256 gallons.
Yeah.
Well, Solas again asks at some point that he would be given one of those barrels to test how well the fish can purify, since he can basically create the water again if it is not just create new water if it's not good enough in the purifying power.
Yeah, again, this isn't something that you can be given. This is
Yeah.
a barrel that you could you and a few of your closest friends could snuggle in very tightly.
Yeah, well, when I say given, basically one of the barrels would be marked off for not being used at the moment, and Solas would be allowed to test it in the storage.
It would be something that you borrow and then you restore the water within a fairly short amount of time.
Yeah, that's
You
what he
Yeah.
wants to do. That's fine.
Yeah, you don't get
Yeah.
you don't get to keep it for weeks.
I wasn't going to, but
So how are you going to determine how you can purify it? I mean, like, what are you going to try to do?
At first I will basically use smaller barrels and containers and basically contaminate them in a way, and then use the fish to purify them, basically testing how much it can purify in one go.
I have a suggestion if you're actually discussing this with us.
Yeah.
Uh, so people go to the toilet. Why don't you purify the wee, turn it into water?
I think that gets pretty much emptied out pretty
No,
quickly.
but we can save a bucket of wee and you can purify it.
It's
Yeah,
not
but
the same.
that doesn't get to
used
how
it.
like
Same.
he knows that he can purify. Also, that's not technically water.
Just
Okay.
putrefy
Exactly.
it, Solas.
It's just purified V after that.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with water.
Use the putrefied water, the reverse.
And
unless
he
you're
wants to
forbidden.
he wants to figure out how much he can purify. So,
Yeah.
how much can
Basic.
you putrefy with one spell?
It's up to 26 cubic feet.
All right, hold on a
And
second. Let me go convert cubic feet to gallons.
yeah.
Oh, wow. All these questions that are asked in spell.
And
When priest casts create water
clearly-
spell, up to 4 gallons of water are generated for each experience level for the caster.
Clearly, this sort of problem is why Wizards of the Coast thought it was necessary to replace second edition.
Yeah, they wanted to make it a lot more simpler in their edition.
Yeah, let's make it easier to work out how much water you can clean up in one go.
All right, so essentially 7.5 gallons per cubic foot.
Might be worth making a note of.
In the create water, it actually says that for the reference purposes, water weighs about 8.5 pounds per gallon, and cubic foot is approximately 64 pounds. So,
I'm just gonna go with this because I got this
yeah.
for now. So you can, how much can you putrefy again?
Oh yeah, putrefy up to 1 cubic foot per level, so that would be 9 cubic feet per level.
Okay.
Per casting.
All right, so you will find that you can purify one casting. If you do 2 castings on the same sort, on a solid single amount of water, you cannot purify the whole thing. So you don't know exactly how much that's going to be, but it's going to be somewhere between what you can generate with 1 and 2 spells, or what you can putrefy with 1 or 2 spells, kind of thing. All right.
Okay. Well, that's good information.
All right. So how much?
How many times I can use it per day?
That's only once per day.
Okay.
So how much food are you going to give them to start? Anyone?
Braxon?
Braxon? I guess you since you're keeping track of it. Oh, he stepped away.
Sorry, I just got back.
Yeah.
What do I need to write down?
No. How much food are you going to give them to start, or how do you want to calculate? How do you want to handle this?
Oh, I've got no idea. Because we'll be a bit pushed if we do this, and I'm not sure how long we're going to be, but we also don't want them starved to death.
Are they coming with us?
They're going to come with us, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we give them a month's worth of food.
All right. So that is going to be. Let's see.
Anyone have an issue with that?
You're the captain. I don't really know any better suggestions.
Well, we might have to give them more food, but
I mean, do you want to just add their crew to what you're calculating out for food usage?
If they're traveling with us, that would just it'd be easier to keep track.
yeah,
of.
we could do. So, but they've got how many?
23 crew members.
So we just add that to ours. And obviously, once we split, then we,
Yeah. Okay.
based on what we got
Right,
left.
I'll have to do some calculations after the game then. But yeah, all right. I think we would give them like a month full of food. We'd give them fresh food first because that goes off quicker.
All right, then that will be 644 man days worth of food.
644.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll treat it like an extra 23 crew, but we'll make sure they've got enough food so that if for some reason they get lost, they've got a chance.
Okay, they are much appreciative of that.
What faith is their helmsman?
They have a low-level wizard, who's second level, basically, and they have a low-level priest of a faith that you've never heard of.
Never heard of.
Okay.
What kind of deity is they worshipping?
It's a deity of travel.
Yeah, I mean it might be Ptah by another name or some other deity we know.
They've heard of Ptah, surely. Are you going to ask them? Well,
Braxon would say we can all mention our deities and show holy symbols and stuff, so they can. They haven't recognised any of the planets yet.
they recognize any of our faiths.
They absolutely would recognize Ptah.
Hey.
And
That's
they
one
are
advantage
like
you
they're aware of the Herwadi,
Mhm.
and they're aware of elves and dwarves, but they've never heard of the Elven Imperial Navy.
Yeah.
Have they heard of gifts?
Yeah, they have.
You heard of the arcane?
Yes, of course they've heard of the Arcane.
I just want to make sure because arcane spaces should be quite a refuge, is quite a known place.
Braxon would check with Margoth and Lenalius to see if either of them have heard of these people.
No, they haven't.
Okay.
Neither has Glau.
Cool.
I mean, they had like he'll mention that there's a well-known arcane port in like they have some arcane dealers in their various ports, and he'll mention a nearby sphere that is said that he has not been to, that is said to have a wondrous arcane port. That and it's not one that you've ever heard of.
With any luck, you haven't drifted too far away from the river you was on, and the sphere we're going to is one you know.
Lafdul wants to mention something. He'll go to Finn. Finn, do you have access to a sphere that me and Solas don't have access to? in time magic, could you figure out how old something decayed is? Can you tell if that orange is like 39 years old or something like that? You understand where I'm coming from?
He stepped
He's
away.
not quite here.
Yeah, he stepped
He's
away.
only listening.
All right, well.
You guys want to come up with just make sure that you're making me think up things that I didn't think up, huh?
Of course, it's one of the player's duties.
No,
Mhm.
Yeah.
this thing has been lost in space. We don't know how long for. I'm just wondering if it's in the decades or centuries.
Well,
Doesn't
they did say that the ship is quite new, only 7 years old, and Braxon did say that the way they do those, way they build those ships have been different for 100 years at least.
That
So
is
this
true,
over
but
a century.
that is true, but they might also be in a region of space that is a bit backward with its methods of making ships.
Could be, but all things, also the wear and tear that the ship took from the age indicate that it would be the
Oh,
case
yeah.
that they've been drifting for a century at least.
I do think that's the most probable thing, but like some of the people that look like Ockar use quite old ships with oars.
Lever says don't just bring food over until we checked out their ship for invisibles and other things.
Oh yeah,
I've
yeah.
got bat sight.
Well,
I mean, that sense.
they're out of food right now. Like they have no food.
Okay, so
Zero
Oh, we
food.
can bring them enough for one day, but don't just
Yeah.
bring it enough for a week or two or a month.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
I
we'll make sure they're fed, but we want to do a proper sweep of their ship. So that if there's something on their ship that consumes their supplies, we can catch it and kill it.
Do you want to
Okay.
recommend that you wait a day where you are before heading off again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's do that
suggestion.
During this
Well,
time,
hold on,
Solas
hold on, hold on. Lafdul, you had a suggestion?
I asked the captain, are you familiar with paladins?
Yeah, he's familiar with paladins. He mentions a
Right,
deity
then.
you've never heard of that is
Alright,
basically like describes it as a holy crusader for justice kind of thing.
I don't want to interpose ourselves on your ship, but obviously Arca here is a paladin. Obviously, Arca being willing, I could cast bat sight on him. In most invisible creatures would still show up with bat sight up. He could go around your ship, and obviously, you know what a paladin is, then you should be able to trust him.
What's the advantage of having this versus the invisibility?
I can do it now.
Yeah. If something's killed 2 of their crew, we want to find it and get rid of it as soon as possible. Now, if they fell overboard, that's a different thing. But we honestly do not know what contaminated their air supply.
Yeah, well, do as you wish, but I don't see much difference between doing it right now or doing it tomorrow. In contrast of them having already been with it for weeks and weeks or whatever time it was.
Well, the revival of them might also have revived the creature. So, if Lafdul's able to get if Ockar's winning and Lafdul's able to do this now, we've still got your option for tomorrow,
Okay.
and we can see whether this works.
I wanted to cast it on one of our party members, and because I'm imposing when I'm obviously making a suggestion. That's why I said to cast it on Ockar, who's a paladin. Paladins generally have a good reputation.
Well, also he can detect evil intent, so if there's an evil creature, he might be able to pick up on that.
No, that's not how it works.
No.
Yeah, it's not just passive automatic detection.
That's how it is in later editions. Detect evil intent. This one is like if I'm talking to somebody, I can tell if they have evil intent towards me.
Okay, well, what if the bat sense allows you to see an invisible creature? Is
He
in
has
room?
to concentrate
Okay.
for detecting that evil.
Yeah, but can you potentially use the two things together?
He's seeing an echolocation. You would just have to.
He could,
It's
but
an automatic.
like it would take one round of trying to detect the intent.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's not what I'm asking. I'm saying if
Yeah,
potentially
technically, I guess.
if potentially Ockar can do these two things together, it's better for him to do it than anyone else, unless someone else has got an ability that would help. Like maybe Finn can tell something about animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so if you see anything suspicious, you can absolutely try to detect evil intent and see if you get any evil intent from it. With
Pick
bad
up the
sense.
bad vibes, yo.
I mean, like the captain is basically gonna like his eyes are gonna glaze over as you're describing the spell, and he's like, I mean, if you can try to detect some sort of hidden creature that means us harm, yes, by all means, please do so.
I'll cast it on Ockar.
All right. So Ockar begins to search their ship from top to bottom. So what spell did you want to see if Finn could cast? Because he's back now.
It was just try to an approximate.
Yeah,
Wow,
the
I
no
guess
age
more
spell.
accurate.
The no age spell.
Yeah, I was thinking of the no age spell
Yeah.
'cause it's a relatively low level spell. I mean,
Yeah, I
if
just looked it up.
something's rotten,
I could cast that tomorrow.
yeah, I don't think this was in any urgency or anything. It was
I mean, basically every day that you're traveling with this ship, you'll sync up your shifts, and every time you need to change helmsmans, you're dropping out of spelljamming speed, and they're going to drop out too. So at that point, you can spend a few minutes to converse and check to see if they need any new supplies or anything like that kind of thing. So
Thinking about it, that spell might work easier if I just cast it on the captain or one of his crew.
I'll just tell him his age.
Yeah, so we ask him what his age was before.
Oh.
Subtract that from what it is now.
Wait, would that work?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, if he's like,
oh, it's like the
oh yeah,
chronological age.
I'm 37 years old, and you get a read, and he's 38 years old, then you know that he's been out there for a year, give or take.
Chronological versus biological.
I'm sure he himself would appreciate knowing that as well.
Maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
if he's only been drifting for a year, that does mean that he can still get back to family and friends and loved ones. If he's been out here for 200 years, they're all dead.
Yeah.
Unless, for example, they were married to an elf.
Yes.
Yeah, but even then, he might not like this information, but there we go.
What the no age spell, Lafdul? If she heard you, she gives no sign of it. All right. So Ockar, you have done a cursory inspection of their ship, and you did not spot any figures that were not there to your normal sight. And there wasn't anything particularly suspicious to try using Detect Evil Intent on. You can just use Detect Evil Intent on, like, a region in hopes of seeing that there is something there. So if you did that, you didn't get any evil intent.
I know.
So
I know. I can't do that. That thing you can only do in later editions.
By the way, Old. Solas would use all the time he can basically discussing with the cleric and the mage of this ship, basically trying to get as much information about their home sphere as possible.
They would not have a whole lot of time to spend with you,
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
they'd be
well, it is
preparing to get underway as well.
Quick.
But he would do this also during the trip in every possible
It's going to be
opportunity.
every time we change helmet.
Yeah,
Right,
it's
but
more of a case of
like
can I ask
most
a
of the
quick
time
question?
when you're right, well, hold on. When most of the time when you're changing helmsmen, like you'd just be signaling to each other, like, is everything good? Do you need anything? And if they say no, then
Yeah.
helmsman is changed over, which only takes a few minutes, and then boom, you're off again, kind of thing. So the nature of traveling through space with multiple ships is that you see them in the distance and you get signals from them most of the time,
Yeah.
and that's it. So
Can
unless you
you
have some
travel in
some
tandem?
magic to converse with them over that distance, you're really not going to be able to actually like sit down and talk with them.
Can I have a quick
Nah.
question back on what Ockar was doing
Sure,
before we?
Braxon.
Right. So Ockar checked out their ship and he hasn't seen anything.
Mhm.
How much extra time does he have with this bat sight ability? Moments or?
No, it's 3 turns a level, so half an
Okay.
hour a level.
In that case,
Quite a while.
Braxon would ask Ockar if he could quickly look over our ship to see if something sneaked off of their ship onto the underside of our ship or anything like that.
Okay. All right. So the other ship has had to, they've had to like they're starting to get work on getting rid of some flow barnacles and stuff like that, but nothing
4.5 hours.
nothing out of the ordinary kind of thing. And Ockar, doing a survey of your own ship, you do not find anything either.
Okay.
Bizarre sensation, though. Being able to see an echolocation.
So the thing is like their Tevras himself suspects it was a Fisu infestation that they had in wild space back in their home sphere.
Right.
Because they are notorious for stealing air, and it is the kind of thing that unless you see them do it, you don't know that it's happened until all of a sudden you're,
your calculations for air are not matching up with the reality.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
suddenly you're short.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think I'm more satisfied now, thanks to Ockar, that we don't have something on their ship or our ship that's gonna kill us all from taking our air away.
And then sorry.
It's the stuff that that Leva could still see that wouldn't be seen with the bad sense.
Entirely possible, yeah. I mean, there's invisible writing that could be on something. Small
right.
invisible objects. I mean, like Ockar was looking for people or creatures.
So Leva will do that. She
We
will.
could try that tomorrow, couldn't we?
Yeah.
She will memorize a few times the spell a few times, and then go around and do this.
Okay. So you let Tevras know that the next day you guys will come together again and do some further inspections just to make sure, like kind of a double check. Maybe it hid well the first time and it gets confident, and that's the kind of way that you'll spin it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
What was the thing Finn was prepared to do the next day?
Finn is going to memorize 2 no-age spells for the next day.
All right.
Okay. All right. So the following day, so you get another day of travel in, and
we would clean up the air.
yeah, I figured.
Once we worked out things are safe.
Okay. And that's the other thing, is that if there is something, I mean, other than the 2 crew members, no one else is missing on their ship, no one else is injured on their ship. Given the evidence, if something is just using up more air, you have a very easy way of replenishing it. Multiple ways of doing that. So, all right. So the following day, Teverus brings his tradesman up alongside you, and you can cross over again. Let's see. Leva is going to cast her first Detect Invisibility. And that's just on yourself, right, Leva?
Yes.
Okay.
Or does somebody else want it as well?
Well, can you actually cast it on other people?
Let me just check. I was about to check.
Sounds news to me. Yeah.
No, it says when there is a cast, blah, 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 he is able to see clearly. So that's self.
Yeah, well, it's also like area of effect, the caster, and range 0. That's also indicator of self.
Yes, you're right.
Okay. All right, so you're the one that has to do, like, that's the question that I was mainly asking, is were you going to be doing the inspection, or do you want other people to do it?
Yes.
How many did you memorize?
It's a level 2 spell, so she memorized 4 of them.
Okay.
And it's 5 rounds a level.
Oh yeah, you. That's.
And don't forget level
ample time.
variation.
Yeah, no, I did. For the first one, it is no level variation, and that would easily let you cover most of their ship.
Okay.
What about wild surges?
Right.
Well, that's what level variation is about.
I rolled for that. Meanwhile, Finn, you just like either yourself or have someone else idly ask the captain his age.
Finn will ask him himself.
Okay. So he is 37 years old.
Okay. And I will cast No Age.
Okay. And his age is 169.
Oops.
Okay.
Oh. You can tell him his age.
So
I will ask him if he would like to know how long he's been out of it.
He frowns, and kind of a pale cast comes over it, and he says, "Answer me this: is it longer than a handful of years?"
It is.
I think it is best if we don't find that out. Then I do not. Many of my crew have family, and knowing that they'll never see them again.
Very well.
I do not think that it would go over too well. It is enough of a shock that we have been drifting out here for some significant time, enough time for all of our food to rot. They all know that it has been quite a while. I appreciate the offer, though. All right. So Leva, you'll cast a second one while doing that. And you don't get as much time out of that second one, but it would allow you to do a quick check over your ship as well with the remaining time. You do not see anything that was invisible on their ship.
Okay, so she checked both ships now?
You've checked their ship. You could do a cursory glance if you want to. It would take a third spell to do a full check on yours.
Since she did a full check on the other one, she wants to do a full check on ours as well.
Okay.
Just in case.
All right, so that'll take a third spell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Actually, given the dramatically reduced duration on that third one, you'll need a fourth one. Rolled a 1. That is level -5, yeah.
All right, then in that
Okay.
case, let's take the fourth one. That's
Yep.
the end.
All right. No wild searches. While checking that,
Lafdul's definitely going to be winding up Leva using his granted power of invisibility, saying, "You sure your spell's working?" Even though he's wearing his amulet. That's making her doubt herself.
Lema throws balls at him. Actually, she goes with the staff.
I feel a Republic serial ending where she finds like some dangerous space monster.
so
Yeah, it's called Lafdul.
Leva, while checking that, you would discover that there is something invisible on Braxon's owl figurine and Solas's carp figurine.
Oh,
Oh,
so she calls the two and says, "There's something on those things." What does she say?
Invisible writing on the underside bases.
Can she
right.
read it?
You would need to use read magic on that.
Oh, let me see. Did she memorize that? No, she didn't memorize it.
So,
Blacklist Wemmer.
But she's she.
so you'll be casting the spell tomorrow.
Yes, she'll
That's
cast
the
another.
worst that can happen.
She probably need another see invisibility for the next day, plus at least one read magic.
I think
She'll
it says.
take two in case there's a wild surge.
I think it says made in Hong Kong.
Yeah, it's
No,
probably just
made
a
in
command
China.
code. Probably the same. Actually, if you would you have mentioned that to the rest of the party or just to those two people?
At the moment,
It
just to
it
those
would
two
basically
people.
be like while you're searching, you're close to Solas while he's carrying the carp and
He's got the bunny as well.
Braxon.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yes, yeah. I was checking through to see if there was anything else. The rabbit would also have a word carved into an invisible writing in the base.
No.
So she would actually tell the people who are affected, whose items they are.
Oh, I think.
They're probably the command words or something.
Probably when you make them, you have to carve the command word on it.
So first of all, she tells them that there's invisible writing on the items, and she will check tomorrow what exactly it is with read magic, and then she'll do that. That's the next day.
Okay, I'm just checking to see if there was anything else that might be like that.
We should do these things more often, I guess, in that case.
Yeah.
Well, you don't know until we try.
Yes.
Well, the other thing is that things that have command words written on them will often be done invisibly, and that does require detect invisible or something similar. True Seeing would work, and read magic. So, Solas has 2 bottles, and both of them have. Wait, no, only one of them has.
I've got a smoke bottle.
This is
It's a sword.
amazing. This is a total game changer. We've been walking around with
I
invisible
wonder,
right
can we roll spellcraft to know if that's part of the process, so that the command word is always inscribed on command-based objects that summon something?
Lafdul, yours also does have that.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and roll a spellcraft.
I was wondering if it's part of the process.
I'm hearing an angry mouse wheel.
Nope.
No, that's a fail.
Can Lewak do it?
Yeah, sure.
He's. I mean, now, did you explain to us why you're rolling?
Yeah, I would have explained the theory. Then all the people that got spellcraft can probably verify or decline my.
Can I also roll?
No, only the first person who had an idea.
Might be more of an
Leva,
arcane thing.
you're pretty sure that is not a requirement.
So she tells that to the others. or especially to Lafdul, who had the idea.
Okay. So yeah, you don't find anything else on there.
You've already got the command word for your gin, haven't you, Finn? For eat, rather.
Yes.
Oh, you know what? I was searching for invisible, but you know what? I'm now realizing that I might need to be searching for a truncated version of that, because I noticed that one said invisibly.
Oh, okay.
I need to look to see if there's anything else. Give me just a second.
We're going to find out that we've been running around with things with invisible writing on them for ages.
Guess Old's going through the logbook of like the party's magical swag.
Pretty much.
I like Anghammarand's comment. Product has been known in the state of California cause cancer.
Isn't that everything in the state of California, though?
That could be.
Only when it gets really smoky. Let's see. I think you already got the something off of the ring of fins. I don't think that's invisible. All right. So yeah, that's just the things that what I mentioned. All right, nothing else. So the next day you'll cast detect invisibility and read magic.
Yes.
All right. There's that. And that. Okay. No surges. And did you have the command words for all of those items that I indicated?
I've got a command word for my ever-smoking bottle.
Okay. Because that's what's written on them. So yes, the command words were written with magical writing invisibly on the basis of those items.
Mm-hmm.
Can be worth checking. It can be worth checking. All right. So that is going to get you to the end of the week. Let me double check to see how many days that would have been. All right, so yeah, you travel with them for 4 days, and that will wrap up the week. The 78th day in the Phlogiston.
78 days.
Right, this is the second week since we've left that planet.
Yes, that will wrap up the second week.
Update my stone carving thing. 2 weeks of 16.
All right. So, the week comes to an end, and you still have not spotted a crystal shell.
Yeah.
So. I thought it crossed my mind to use our tracking device to find a lost crewman, but that's kind of a needle in a haystack.
Well, we've
outside of our purview, probably.
We've already spent an amount of time leaving the area. So
I mean, thinking how long they have been drifting, and if those crewmen, for example, disappeared just before they started drifting,
we could have found them, but we'd be leaving the river, and it's too late. It's too late because we didn't do it.
It's more of a philosophical.
No, we could
see whether or not they were even alive, if the track even picked something up.
We could have looked into doing that, but it's too late because we've.
So the other thing is also that as Finn discovered, they've been drifting for 132 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, they might still be out there, but it might take you a century of traveling through the Phlogiston to find them.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Yeah. And if we leave the river, we might not find the river.
Well, I was curious to know if the tracker even works if the person's dead.
But if they're petrified, they're not technically dead.
Yeah.
It's true.
Well,
your best bet is to if someone goes overboard, and you notice it, about 30 turns after that, then you can use it because they will be petrified at that point.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. So, let's do some XP. That is going to be 5,200 XP for Solas and Lafdul.
5,200.
5,200.
Okay.
2,500 for Leva. 5,400 for Ockar, as well as Braxon.
5,400.
And Finn, I need to calculate something separate. Give me a second.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, because of the space streaks that we found.
Finn, 8,225. And that was essentially because he followed his philosophy with the Space Drake offspring. He gets the full XP for those.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Overcoming a problem, and he overcame it and followed his philosophy. All right, so that is going to wrap us up this time. When we come back next time, there's still more Phlogiston to go.
Yeah.
Oh, what fun. Oh, what fun.
Yeah, more Phlogiston checks.
Yeah.
Braxon rolls a Phlogiston check. Auld says the Phlogiston is still there.
All right, so you have succeeded in rescuing some other people as well, so you got some XP for that. And hopefully the next sphere that you go to will not be a hostile one where they will get instantly destroyed because they're simple traders.
Well, if it's a hostile one, they'll just have to follow us until we get somewhere civilized. Well, it's up to them. They can take their chances if they want.
Assuming that they can survive with it, if it's hostile.
I mean,
that's what I mean.
That's quite the assumption to make, that just because someone is hostile towards us is that they are not civilized.
I mean,
Well, we can do some philosophy in the Discord later.
It's like, we don't eat you with your clothes on. We take your clothes off first. We're civilized.
Exactly, exactly. They eat you with a knife and fork,
Yes.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you guys for playing. I want to thank everyone out there for watching. We will be back next week for even more. See you then, everyone.
See ya.
Thanks for the game.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
See you later.